I say, yo, 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 yo. What's going on?
Man, you
Welcome
already
back
know.
to Center the Same podcast. My name is Rashad Carter, man. I go by King Carter. And I'm with the one and only Meathouse Beats. Boy, what's happening?
What they do, man. That cooling, man. Just happy to be here today, man.
Man, listen, I appreciate you coming out, boy.
For sure.
Boy, it's been some time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Real long time, man. Well overdue, you know what I mean? So,
man, that's what's up, man. So Pete, man. I call you Pete. You
well,
know,
listen, I don't know nothing about that.
You know, you my cousin, so
yeah, for sure.
I call you Pete, but you know, Meathouse Beats is your producer name.
Yep.
You know, from Gifford.
Yep.
Right? You know, we
Florida.
from Gifford, Florida,
772.
man.
The original 561.
The original, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
But listen, man, it's been some time, man. I've been able to kind of watch you on your journey. You know what I'm saying? And you know, coming from where we come from, starting out making music from the bottom back in the day when it was only Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
You know, you had them. You'll be able to pull up anywhere with an MP5 and a laptop and go to work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, what I remember first coming across you when you was actually really producing music. I caught on later, but it was a few of us that was already producing music. I think it was Karan Valentine, the first person that ever had taught me, learned, you know, that taught me the Fruity Loops program.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in a session with some guys, and then dude said, he was like, yeah, man, you should collab with Meathouse.
Yeah.
And I said, Meathouse? Who is Meathouse? They was like, you don't know who Meathouse is? I was like, nah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know who Meathouse is. And one of my dudes was like, you know, that's your people, Jimmie Hill. I said, Jimmy, I said, Pete produce? It was like, yeah, he fired. So they started playing me your music, but I said, oh, you was on a whole nother level. I knew you had a gift for it, man. So what got you into this, man? You know, how did this originate for you?
Dang, it's a good question. Definitely come from the family, on both sides. Music, like if there ain't one thing we ever had in our life, it was music.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we had the uncles that break dance. Your dad used to break dance. It was all about, you know what I mean, jam on it, this and that and the other. So like when I heard beats back then, like Curtis Blow, all that stuff, these are the breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like I always used to move to the music. I ain't care nothing about the words.
Nothing about it.
You know what I'm saying? But anything that come on with a 5 beat or something with some percussion, some good rhythm, I was down for it. You know what I mean? But it probably wasn't until like middle school that I realized, like, dang, like I really love music. You know, I used to get beatings almost every day because I used to beat on the desk every day.
Yeah, me
you
too.
Used to be on that too.
Me
you know what I'm saying? We used to be in there.
Me too, yeah.
You had your little thing. You was doing your fingers. I say, oh, you want to come around? You want to finesse? Oh, hey. Oh, boy, your cousin Sean Fry. You was Sean Fry. Hey, I see you pull that little trick out one time. I say, yeah, that was hard right there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, remember when them poles, being on the poles?
What?
They had that just that good reverb.
Some
good
real rap stars out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Selling out on your partner, mama, and all that, just being some fools, some nuts, you know what I mean? But definitely come from just being raised, you know, with my uncles, man, and my parents, you know, church. You know what I'm saying? I always just used to love to hear the organs and the drummers do their thing, the bass. You know what I mean? Like I learned how to cherish every aspect of music. You know what I mean? So but when I first got on a little piano or something, man, and I did a little song, I like, man, I got to know how to do a little bit more of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I started out on the drums. You know what I'm saying? Benny Bradley.
Okay.
Kiara Daddy.
Yeah.
BJ.
BJ.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Daddy taught me how to play the drums, gave me the foundation and stuff.
Okay.
Boy, look at here. I was in there like a boy, kick snare, click snare,
in the
kick
pocket,
snare,
straight
kick
pocket.
snare. Like, hey, he'll go walk off and go do something. I start like hitting the snare some way. I don't hear the rim shot. Oh, Lord, it's boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of it started there, man. Started with the drums.
You know man, I think for a lot of people it starts that way, man. I just knew that you definitely took things to another level the moment all of us kind of got introduced to these platforms, these programs,
Right.
to be able to kind of start a little, investing into your craft a little bit more.
Absolutely.
What's some of the first programs you started out with? What do you start out with first?
My first setup, boy. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I want to know. What was your first setup?
My first setup was Pro Tools. I
Yeah.
had Pro Tools 6, Pro Tools 6 drop. Ain't Fruity Loop wasn't a thing at that time for me.
It was Pro Tools.
Yeah, it was Pro Tools.
See, I was different. Fruity Loops was first, and
Yeah.
then I graduated to just searching for sound packages.
Right.
And I started using. Well, I take it back. For me, it was GarageBand.
Right.
It was GarageBand, and then I went from GarageBand to Fruity Loops, which is a whole nother world.
Yeah, it was
Right. It was a whole nother world, right? So then you start getting to a point to where you start looking for sounds.
Right.
And then I got to
grow.
Pro Tools. I wanted to grow. I got to Pro
Yeah.
Tools. So for you, it was Pro Tools 6.
Right. Because I was initially recording already
Okay.
in Pro Tools. So when we got the Pro Tools, and I figured out how to like put one instrument in there, like I said, oh snap. Dang, okay, I put these keys in there.
Yeah.
Now I just got to figure out how to do the drums. Once I did the drums, got the drums like I wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still got a lot of them old beats and stuff. Legendary, Bali out of Fort Pills.
Oh,
You
Bali.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, all them boys, man, they used to come through. And so I was cooking up, doing my thing, man. But the thing about when you record on Pro Tools back in the day making beats, once you put your MIDI notes in,
Yeah.
you got to record it in.
Gotcha.
And then you go to the next one, put your MIDI notes in and record it in. It's time consuming.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So one of the because everybody used to always talk about you on a drum machine.
Yeah.
And you just drum machine MIDI keyboard for you was just
it's a thing.
That was just like the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you and even to this day, I mean that's where you are with it right now. That's like that's you still with it. That's just like your basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do you what other kind of programs do you right now do you use
definitely Fruity Loops.
Definitely Fruity Loops.
Definitely. Absolutely.
It's funny because it became the wave.
Absolutely. It became a wave, but it was just so let me get I started in Pro Tools. I didn't know about Fruity Loops until I started going to Fort Pierce.
Really?
That's when I started getting a neighborhood beat, man, because I get my backpack. I had a Dell PC. I had the MPC. I had the keyboard.
Yeah.
I had the microphone. I had everything. And I'd throw that thing in the back of the Buick and go anywhere and set up. I had speakers, everything. I go in there, set everything up, full studio at the hotel, with the Zoles. We were doing our thing.
Yeah.
We go to the trap house and set up. So that's how I had the neighborhood beat, man.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because I come to your hood. As long as you're a credible person and I know you solid, I come to your hood because I know you're going to make sure I'm good.
Right.
So, and that's when one day I pulled up and Jay Vaughn on the beat was in there.
Okay.
So I'm like, I come in here with all this stuff and bro just got a laptop.
That's it.
Yeah. Fruity Loops. That's when I figured out about Hypersonic too.
Hypersonic, yeah.
All that. So I'm like, I don't came up with something, it's sliding or whatever, boy, like, oh, that's fire. I watched boy go to clicking. This over 20-some years ago.
Yeah.
He was the first joke I knew can click in the notes, all the stuff these dudes doing now.
Yeah.
He was doing it then, and he can mimic any sound that he heard on the radio. And to this day, he's down, like, hands down, one of the best producers out of the 772. Straight up, because
I agree.
He was on a wave before I even was. He was making reggae music and beats and all that. I ain't have no ear for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then I went to Fruity Loops, man, but it's always been between the MPC and Fruity Loops. And then every now and again, I use Personas. Studio One.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could take your beat or take my beat and say, an artist say, oh man, I wanted another key or I want to slow down. Oh, throw it in Studio One, change the key of the song, ain't got to replay it, nothing.
Done.
Yeah, so like the process is easy, but it's normally MPC, Fruity Loops, or Studio One.
So basically, what you're saying right now is, especially for those guys that are out there, especially these young bulls out there that's really trying to get into this kind of game, they don't really, they might not know or don't have the money to buy a bunch of different equipment. Man, they can get on and start
Yeah,
right off the bat.
yeah,
You
right off
know,
the bat.
right out. You can start producing right off the bat.
Yep.
What would you advise they start with?
First of all,
Basic.
first of all, you got to ask yourself how much you really love it.
Yeah,
You got to ask yourself how
I
much you
got
really love it, because you know we're human beings, we're emotional people.
right.
Oh, I seen boy make a hard beat. Oh, I grew up with him. If he
Mhm.
can make one, I can make one. Like we
Right.
grew up with mentalities like that. But you don't love music more than he loved music. He
Right.
sat there for hours to figure out how to do one thing. Like, are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, if that's the case, I would recommend you to just, uh, you know, either learn your drum pattern first,
Mhm.
or learn you something on the keys. You
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
Start somewhere.
You got to just start somewhere. You got to put some down. Like, don't start out trying to make the craziest beat. Just figure out how this thing work first. You know, if you're using Fruity Loops, figure out how to use the piano roll and snap in your hi-hats and your clap and your drums. Once if you get them drums down, you can finesse everything else. I don't care if you start out with just loops.
Right.
And I would definitely tell anybody to do that. Honestly, go Splice or they got all these different websites where get you a loop and put that loop in there and lock it into the grid
Mm-hmm.
and just play some drums around it. If you can figure that out, all you got to do is learn how to come up with your own melodies in due time, or just be one of those guys that can manipulate loops. Either way, because a lot of the guys out here now, they just good at manipulating loops
Mm.
and put a little something under and call it a day. Ain't no right way, the wrong way to do it now,
Hey.
you know?
If it's slapping, it's slapping.
That's it.
That's it.
I send my loops to somebody, and when I hear it again, don't even sound like I made it.
Hey, that's
Guess
part of the
what?
game.
We still get the credit, and that's all that matter.
That's what's up, man.
Mhm.
Now let me ask you this, man. You know, coming from where we came from, and you just getting really heavily involved in producing music. I know where we are now, but you started on the secular side,
Right.
making music on the secular side.
Mhm.
And I know at some particular point in time, there were artists that you wanted to work with.
Yeah.
You know, to you know, so your music could kind of evolve. Did you have particular artists that that you work with that really kind of did it for you, that you felt, you know, somewhat accomplished with certain artists that you might have had working on your music? Is there somebody else from our area that you work with that really kind of, is there a particular track that you had that kind of really took off for you?
When I did the I Am project with Beezy,
Yeah, Beezy is fire.
I don't think, honestly, bro, I don't think nobody ever came behind what me and Beezy did together.
Really?
I recorded everything, made all the beats, mixed everything. Only thing he had to do was get somebody to make the cover. I wasn't no cover guy.
Right.
But we put out a project, had Metro PCS joint on there, had the Fighting Indian song on there, this and Sebastian, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I was just like, man, like, you know, we did something at a young age that a lot of people couldn't come together and unify to be able to make this happen.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Both of us had to be humble enough to come work together. You know what I'm saying? Because Beezy got his certain ego, I got my certain ego as well. But it was something about when we come together, we'll both come to this place where say, yeah, me, that's it. Yeah, B, that's it, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when me and him did that project together, the city heard it.
Mm.
So when you hit a city, you and your, man, 1920, you hear the city playing, I'm for V-Roll Beach, all the way from the bottom of the G.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, honestly, bro, that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Project.
That did it for me. Like, and big shots out to DJ Slick. Like,
Slick.
DJ Slick was really one
shout
of
out to Slick, man.
Yeah.
Slick was so fire to me.
Yeah.
Him man, Nessa. Shout out to Necessary, man.
Necessary.
Listen, man, fire. Fire. Slick was always I used to hoop, so Slick used to always hoop with us, and
Yeah.
he was fine when it came to music, production, anything. Slick was just one of those guys that
he was
that had
guy.
everything. He
Yeah,
was a dude.
everything.
He was a dude.
Got Jordans on every day.
He was
You know
that
what I
guy. Slick
mean?
was that guy, man.
Son ended up being MJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to them,
Listen.
man.
Slick was fine, man. If I ever run into him, God willing, I run into him, man. I will always pay homage to Slick, man, because he's a neighborhood legend from where we
for
from.
sure.
For
Like
sure.
I watch this man take. It's 23 songs on this King Files.
Mhm.
That's by Bud. Bud and Slick put that together.
Yeah.
I watch everybody in Guilford that rap was on that project.
Mm.
We had skits. We had Michael Thomas, Cornflake Mike. We doing a news reporter going on there. Like, bro, we had the city, bro. It was so many people on that project. It wasn't until like a couple years ago. The boy like, dang, you was on King Files. I say, you was on King Files? Like, yeah, I was on there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I watched this man bring the city together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, although I never really tell him, but man, I always look up to him, and I always try to repeat what he done, because I seen that one person can really bring people together and do this, and I try to mimic that to this day.
Right. One of the other things that I really appreciated about Slick is that he just was always on the ground when it came down to the community.
Yeah,
he always was on the ground. He always had things coming up. Always was looking out to try to make sure the kids was involved with whatever. Man, he was really really good at that, man. Like I said, man, Slick, if you ever see me, if I ever see you, if you ever watch this or whatever, man, listen, man, we really really appreciate you. I don't think enough people give you your flowers, man, because man, those particular years, Slick was a big inspiration.
Yeah.
As I look back now, he was a big inspiration to a lot of people. He probably never got his flowers.
Yeah, man. Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
All that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Saying? So definitely, man. And him and Bees, all them boys was close. Everybody was close. You know what I mean? Necessary. You know what I mean? I got some stuff I've been working on with Necessary the last few years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, just working with them, bro, outside of, my 772, I ain't talking about my Orlando, my Georgia, the Miami, I ain't talking, you know what I mean?
Right.
We ain't even talking about T striking them yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody I've really dealt with was serious and good people.
Okay.
Good character. I don't care how good a person can rap, they character and they ain't solid.
Right.
What we working for,
Exactly. So let me ask you this, man. With I know a little bit about I know a lot about how we grew up, our area, where we from, and how hard it is to be able to get really solid, good artists to come from Guilford, because a lot of people don't even know much about this area, coming out of Guilford or whatever, man. How was it for you trying to be able to make a name for yourself? How was it for you growing up, being able to be on both sides of music, man? How was it? How was your upbringing when it comes down to this?
It was weird, man. It was weird. I come from, my parents, they straight shooters.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no beat around the bush, you know what I mean? So, my mom always just say, like, secular music, hey man, that's devil music.
Right.
And then, I had my time where I like, mom just tripping. Ain't no devil music, da. But guess what? Now that I got older, dang.
Yeah.
It really is.
Come full circle, don't it?
It's a full circle. So, I gotta understand it, but I feel like, that upbringing was a fine line. So I think the blessed part about it and why I was able to keep going was when I started making beats, there were no words. There wasn't a side of Jimmy Meathouse beats that want to sing or rap or none of that. It was just making beats. The beat itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like a bunch of money. Money by itself is nothing wrong with it. But when you fall in love with it, becomes an issue. There's some things that you're gonna do when you fall in love with it.
Right.
You can backstab some folks, da. So, they supported me and they pushed me. You know what I'm saying? So in the summertime, I popped the garage open. We had them big old speakers and all, the old school, the block party speaker set with the amp that overheat and it click off and you gotta wait a couple minutes for it to cool down.
Come back on. Yep.
I cook up every summer. The whole 12th Avenue, that boy out there making beats. It's
Yeah.
early in the morning. He waking everybody up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my parents are very supportive, even to this day. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good, man.
And so it wasn't hard to maintain what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that kept me out of jail, prison, all that stuff, man. So it was good, man. I can't complain. I would never choose another route.
Never choose another route.
Never.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. So, Pops really raised, us to just, hey, if you're gonna do something, do it.
Mhm.
Don't hit the gas highway. If you're gonna go, all foot down to the floor.
I feel you.
Mhm.
Well, that's good, man, because I know a lot of people don't really have that same kind of support system
Right.
when they're trying to get into something like this. I was lucky enough to not have my mother or my family really shun what I was trying to do.
Right.
Because at that particular time in my life, music was secondary, but all I wanted to do was hoop.
Right.
I didn't want to do.
Hooper, boy.
Yeah, I didn't want to do nothing else but play basketball.
You was a hooper.
I studied that, to the T, but music came secondary for me, and I just really enjoyed seeing those around me
Right.
start to grab the torch of that thing and really just take off with it. Shout out to Dr. B, my god brother. He's a phenomenal producer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Deuce Hype, my boy Patrick. He produces music.
Deuce.
Those ones out there, really, man. Big shout out to Trap from Gifford, man.
Yeah.
Trap was one of those ones very, very early in the beginning that was trying to help people get their sound out. But it's phenomenal, man. What I want to really dig into though now, man, is along this journey, we start to actually be a little bit more sold out for Christ.
For sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you start to kind of develop a relationship that we didn't have in the beginning. Right. So then we're on this side of you're still producing music.
Right.
And you're still doing what you love to do.
Absolutely.
But now we're on the side of, I'm trying to live this life. I'm trying to walk in this life. I'm trying to live this lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And with doing that, sometimes there are sacrifices that you have to make.
Yeah.
And you're choosing a side.
Absolutely.
How is it working with artists on the faith-based side versus secular side? Is it still as important, in regards to the crafting of the music?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still something that you feel like you still up late nights and you still have to set an atmosphere in a room? Because I remember when I used to record dudes, they gotta we get the room full of smoke.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gotta be on that drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We finna be up till 2, 3 in the morning.
Hanging, swinging.
But we gotta set the atmosphere.
Right.
How is it on the other side?
On the other side, man, it really starts with relationship.
Okay.
With that artist.
Gotcha.
You try not to walk in a room with a bunch of people in there and you don't know that artist yet. That's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Because one thing I learned about artists, they open up when it's a one-on-one with the producer or whoever.
Gotcha.
I gotta know where you at. In order to produce, if we gonna do something great, I gotta know where you at for real.
Right.
You gonna know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta know where you at. What you been through, man, the last year or so? What you been through in the last few months? Because that's gonna allow me to come to a place where say, okay, when that joker starts saying or figure out he come with something, I know how to integrate what you've been through and into the music. So when you get on there and you say what you say, whatever your message is, that music gonna blend in with what you got going on. So it's really setting the atmosphere. But in order to set the atmosphere, I gotta know where you at.
I got you.
It gotta be complete transparency. We can't work on a project and you come through and act like you ain't been through nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What we gonna make?
I got you.
How we gonna make something if you ain't been through nothing?
That thing gotta be real.
Yeah, if you ain't been through nothing, that means your music gonna be about stunting and what you don't did. Because apparently God ain't gonna have no say so because you ain't been through nothing. God ain't have to deliver you out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like really just setting the atmosphere, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't smoked out, we ain't drunk, we ain't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have been in the lab where, you know, I'm not quite where I need to be at in God, but I am where I am need to be with God
Right,
at the moment,
right,
but I'm
right.
still smoking and drinking too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Guess
yeah,
what? The artist that's Christian, he is too.
yeah,
But he's stuck in a place. He's stuck. He's been fully transparent.
yeah.
You know, he not hiding it from nobody or nothing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it's like, man, just get to a place where you can bounce back and be authentic with yourself is everything. But guess what? Nobody can help me be delivered from the things I go through if they never knew I was going through it.
Amen.
So, you know, guess what? When some of these artists figure out you going through the same thing they going through, guess what we start doing? We were still smoking and drinking.
Still doing the
But
same
guess
thing.
what? We were crying out to God next.
Right.
We on the same page now. We can do this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to be in this place, man. Like, you know, let God use you where you at. You know what I'm saying? Be real where you at.
I like that too, man, because, you know, I don't know if a lot of people understands this, but when you really start to develop a relationship with God, and here you are in this particular kind of position where you're trying to bring somebody else's gifts to light when you in there
Right.
creating music, when you're in
Right.
there creating like that,
Absolutely.
and that relationship with God that you have
Yeah.
and the music they're creating, it starts to be a spiritual thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it starts to be a spiritual thing, and I think that you know, you have the opportunity to really create greatness.
Yeah.
And be able to do something that's still within the will of God at the same particular point in
Absolutely.
time. And I think that's a phenomenal thing.
Absolutely.
You know, I know you're working with a few artists right now, man. Who's some of these Christian rappers that you're working with lately?
Mainly right now, I've been working with Plain James,
Okay.
T Stripe, got various Shot Music.
Okay.
That she in Gainesville. She originally from the folk. It's
She
kind
really
of
from
like one
Pope
of them
Hill.
weird. It's like, okay, when I tell you I would go from city to city,
Yeah.
taking the whole
Taking the whole
setup.
setup.
She was that girl back in the day, like that the city knew, like, why, you know what I mean? Wide open.
Yeah.
So, but them Zoles down there, that's her people.
Okay.
But somehow years later, we come around, she saved, I'm saved, and now we working on a project right now currently.
That's phenomenal, man.
You know what I mean? So we working on a project right now as we speak. And man, look, it's gonna be gas.
It's gonna be gas.
You know what I mean? So I'm really excited about working with female artists because I don't get to work with many of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of cried a little bit. Hey, anybody, you know, but sometimes you just gotta wait on God.
Right.
You might have a desire, but you're not really ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So like those my main three I'm really like kind of focus on right now. I think I got C-Dub and Branson. I did a sample beat, Jesus. Jesus, oh Jesus. I sampled that joint and he bought that and Branson got a verse on there. So I'm not sure when they dropping that, but that's something to be on the lookout for as well.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what's up, man. I'm actually I've reached out to T Strike a few times, man. He finally hit me back. You know, I'm gonna actually have him on. We're gonna talk about his music. You actually produced an EP for him, right?
Yeah, Project
Recently,
180.
Project 180. I got a chance to kind of, and I'm a big fan of T Strike. I was listening to a lot of the music that he had on YouTube. I listened to pretty much most of what he had on you know, on Apple Music, Spotify.
Right.
But that Project 180, listening to that particular project compared to what else he had, that kind of took a turn.
Yeah.
You know, you guys had a heck of a time producing that, didn't you?
It came like it was easy.
Natural.
It was natural.
Yeah.
And we didn't sit in the same room and do this project now.
Really?
Majority of our music, we was in the same room together. But this project was like, man, Plain James finished up our project and bam, we jumped to, hey, bro, let's do some. All right, shoot. I sent him a beat and it was at the BPM of 180.
It was at 180? Okay.
So the next beat I sent, it was at 180.
Yeah.
The next beat I sent was at 180. Every song on the EP is at 180 BPMs per minute.
Yeah.
Every song. The project never changed pace. but it feels like
but it feels like it does, especially. And I think we're gonna play a few tracks here. Was it No Reason?
No Reason.
No Reason. Man, No Reason is fire to me. That's one of my favorite songs on the track. No Reason was fire, man. If you can, play a little bit of that.
No Reason right quick.
Yeah. I like your tag too.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I've been blessed, I'm just squeezing for no reason. It's time to eat, I'm off the milk, I'm done teasing. I took everything the devil did like I was thieving. They want my lights out, I'm still shining on these demons. I've been blessed, I'm just squeezing for no reason. It's time to eat, I'm off the milk, I'm done teasing. I took everything the devil did like I was thieving. They want my lights out, I'm still shining on these demons. I've been blessed, I'm just squeezing for no reason. Like you slowed in while knowing that I go in. They don't hold the door up, then I'ma keep it going. Rivers of living water, I like the way I'm flowing. Long as I got to let my king care less about who the goat is. Wait a minute, let me praise him.
Yeah.
Hey, and like I say, man, like No Reason was the first beat I sent.
That was the first one.
That was the first one. So, bro, like, listen, bro, this the one, Jim.
That's the one.
When Strike got one,
Yeah.
it's the one. And so I sent that, man. Then I kept sending them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he would just send them back.
He would just send them back.
Strike be in the studio all night long.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? All night long, man. I call him like at 8, 9 sometime. This joke ain't even went to sleep yet.
He's still up.
He been up. You know what I'm saying? So like I mess around and I want to show you. You got New Creature.
New Creature 5 too.
New Creature 5.
Yeah, New Creature is for sure 5.
You got Let's Not Forget. And then you got New Creature and Let's Not Forget is technically the same beat.
Really? Well, what did you change? Because it's still at 180.
So with New Creature, it starts off like this, but when it goes off, it breaks down into the piano.
Yeah.
But if you notice that the pianos from the end of this beginning of the next song, Let's Not Forget. I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
I hear it. You're right. You're right.
On the word of God when I meditate. Oh man, I swear I feel good to serve the boss, man. Cross up on my shoulder.
Now you're gonna listen, go right into that same piano. I come back in.
Yeah. Well, you hard.
You know what I'm saying? But when he said this one back, it's so much pain in what he's saying, and it's so much.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So the way that go off and come on like this, then I just act biased. But I made this one more bouncier than the last song.
Yeah.
Got more like old Manny Fresh type. That's one of my favorite producers.
I wanted to go. Started in the inner city, end up on the interstate. I'm just trying to eat it now. I'm looking like a dinner plate. Chasing after bass till I got them under my eyes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
So then we just kind of go there, man, and everything at 180. Everything.
So you sent him a whole pack. Everything
180. And it have so much. And I know it's God. It'd be weird, you know. You initiate something, but you don't know why you're doing it. But this is what we need to do
for sure.
And we're both in agreement. And then it's like, guess what? When you do a 180, what you doing? You turn.
Yeah.
You make a complete turn,
right?
And you go the other way.
Well, I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite track on that project?
Mine's gonna have to be. I gotta have 2 on this one.
You gotta have 2.
Let's Not Forget is definitely my number 1.
Got you on live.
No Reason is 1 too, but I'm just saying, like, I know everybody like, but Let's Not Forget is a personal vibe for me.
Yeah.
And all that you've done, the last song.
The last song.
Because I love how bro can go into a rap, and then go to a worship state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this whole project, man, like I say, it's special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Between this and the Plain James project, it's special, man.
It's special.
Yeah, man.
Now, I was gonna ask you, I already kind of answered it before, but I was gonna ask you, who has been your musical inspiration when it came down to producers? You just mentioned Manny Fresh.
Manny Fresh for
Manny
sure.
Fresh is definitely on my top 5.
Yeah.
So give me your top 5 producers right now that you got on your list in regards to who kind of gave you that inspiration, who you think is top dog.
Definitely Manny Fresh.
Manny Fresh. Give me 2.
Your Shawty Red.
Shawty Red, yeah.
Your Zaytoven.
Zay. Okay. You put Zay at 3.
No, Zay my number 1.
Zay your number 1. In order now. Let me give me your order.
Okay,
in order. Let's go from that. Number 1.
Zay and Manny.
Okay. Zay and Manny.
All right. I put Javon at 3.
Javon at 3. Local producer.
Because he can make anybody sound.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Will.
What's his name? Will who?
The big producer Will.
Mike Will made it?
Mike Will.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely have to go with like Ninth Wonder.
Ninth Wonder.
For sure.
Now Ninth Wonder
because I'm kind of like them boys made me want to try to sample a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that's a fire listen. Shouts out to Javon.
Shouts out
as
to
a local
Javon,
producer
for sure.
Because I've heard a lot of music that he's fire.
And this guy can sing like no other.
I've never heard him sing.
Listen,
he fire?
Can sing.
I've never heard him sing.
He's versatile. He's musical. Like just when he make a R&B, he sang R&B.
Really?
Like Tank, like some.
Gotta check him out.
He can rap. He reminds me of T-Pain.
Really?
Every bit of him. Every bit of T-Pain.
I have never heard Javon sing.
Javon's the first person I heard sing on autotune locally and sound good with it.
Really?
And do all these crazy harmonies and stuff. Yeah, he got an ill, man.
Wow. Wow. So for me, I'm gonna go with my number 1 has to be Zay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Timbaland.
Yeah. Timbaland.
I'm gonna go I'm an 808 guy.
808 Mafia.
I'm an 808 guy. I got to go Metro.
Yeah. Metro.
I got to go Metro.
Yeah.
I got to go Metro. So we're gonna go Zaytoven, Timbo, Metro.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm an 808 guy. I'm gonna go Southside.
Southside, yeah.
I'm gonna go Southside.
Yeah.
And my number 5 is kind of different because it's the combo. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna go Pharrell.
Absolutely.
That's from where I'm located.
Outside the box.
That's kind of where I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In regards to what it is I like, that's who
that's good music.
That's what inspired me to try to start producing music. It was 100% everything that Zay would put out.
Yeah.
I would watch cook-up videos of Zay
all day.
All day,
bro.
And go back to Best Buy and try to pick up something similar to what Zay had.
Yeah.
And also when you watch Zay produce music, it's like from the ground up.
Yep. And that's the only way I like to produce.
It's from the ground up.
And that's why I get that mindset from, you got these people, they want the pre-made beats and all that stuff. That's cool, that's fine, but there's nothing like me coming to you.
Right.
Getting off the plane.
And coming right to you.
Coming straight up, pulling up on you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give you my little rate, my little fees.
Right.
I got me a 5 hotel room. We head to the studio. We finna work. There's nothing like it.
Right.
Even Necessary. When me and Necessary did some work, and Lord's willing, hopefully we get together and finish up some stuff this year.
Man, shout out to Nessa, man. I'm so proud of her,
Nessa
man.
One of the listen,
so proud of
she's my number 1 female artist, period. I don't care who y'all bring up, she gonna be my number 1. She's a real lyricist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's a fire
saying?
one.
She's a real lyricist. She been on Sway in the Morning.
Yeah.
She got a song Tet 9.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, bro. Tet 9.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Real legends, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, girl, really out there. She just did a commercial for a water company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's everything, man.
All right. So like I watch how you cook up, right? I watch how you cook up. Been watching all the videos that you produce in regards to, you know, kind of a little bit of your process. As a matter of fact, I watched a video on YouTube that you had. I don't even know, you probably don't even know you still got this up, but it's a video that you had a long time ago. You actually teaching, you actually on the video teaching how to actually cook up.
Yeah.
Cook up music. That watching that, I think that's something that you should probably look into,
right?
Because it not only did it have a lot of views, but there were a lot of other new artists, new producers out there that was learning from you, man.
Yep.
And you I don't know if you realize, you know, the following that you have, how many people actually pay attention to what you actually got going on, man. And it's really been you've been a heck of a blessing to a lot of people, man, watching your journey from where you were till now.
To now, yeah.
You know, it's really phenomenal, man. I commend you,
Appreciate
man. I commend you out. You know, you can't really say music, mention Gifford, and not say Meathouse.
Yeah.
And that's you stamped.
Yeah.
100%. You stamped.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And that's big.
Yeah.
That's big because we all know how great you are. You
God be
know,
the glory.
we all know how great you are, man. But you know, your father, you know, Uncle Jimmie Hill and Auntie Tandy, you know, running church. You know, how involved are you with ministry as well?
Very active. Very active. Every aspect. You know, I feel my calling is to make sure everything work the way it's supposed to work.
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
they can't do everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to have your leaders back. I don't care what church you go to. Make sure everything, so they ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
Let the preacher preach.
Right.
Preacher shouldn't have to get out there and move the chair, make sure the door unlocked, make sure the AC straight, make sure the audio stuff on. Let the preacher preach. You only got one job.
Right.
All of us should be the ones to get everything ready to go.
All right.
Because guess what? You better have a word from the Lord because they have to do nothing else.
Yeah, I heard that.
But if you're working, if your pastor got to do everything, man, that's a lot.
I got you. I agree. I agree with you.
Very involved, man. I really feel right now, you know, I'm in the beginning of something different.
Yeah.
Well, where I've been in the past is nothing compared to where this thing is going to go to now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So nothing is like where I come from versus where I'm going at right now. It's going to be a complete shift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to what's coming next. Because my heart at the end of the day, bro, is always to make music, connect with who I need to connect with. Because God always put me in the path of secular artists all the time. And I can't deny them what I have.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the only God they might see is me.
That's correct.
I can't, oh no, I'm straight. Cause nope, they ain't what, nope. Until God tell you not to do it, you gotta work. God ain't allowing me to do this just for the saved folks. He gave for the sinners too.
Right.
How else we gonna be able to minister to them? How else we gonna be able to get close enough to affect their lives? You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to J Bez, you know what I'm saying? BYB, brace yourself brand. Definitely I'm a part of that. It never really came out yet, but you know, we'll do that. But brace yourself brand, you know what I'm saying? J Bez, one of the hardest producers in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually talking about J Bez. When I reached out to a couple people just to kind of get some insight, and J Bez is one of the ones that that got it.
He's legit.
They got that magic touch.
Listen, he's legit.
They say J Bez or revise whatever.
Listen,
and bring it to life.
Listen, I can't do all that. I say, boy, the way that boy do them drums, but guess what? It's my brother, though. I got the sauce.
That's right.
I got the sauce, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those my brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? And what I have, they have, and vice versa.
And vice versa.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to the team, man. You know what I'm saying? Lil Loud Music, you know what I'm saying? T Strike, Kiki, the family, you know what I'm saying? That's my family. Plain James, Trap Theology. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up, man.
yeah, man.
That's what's up. So, man, what do you have coming up in the future? What are you looking at? What kind of projects you guys got coming out? You know, what do you guys got really cooking up that you guys going to release?
I got I ain't came up with a name or nothing for it yet, but I got a project.
Give us a sneak peek. Give us a sneak peek that you know, you know what I'm saying? That's about to come up. Give me a sneak peek.
Something right quick.
Yeah.
I got a joint where I sampled Kurt Franklin.
Oh, I gotta hear that.
Yeah. It's called it's gonna be called The Storm.
Okay.
The neighborhood beat.
No more cloudy days. I just want you to prophesy to yourself. Keep your head up, I got you, I promise. Joy it come in the morning. I'ma do my dance, God up to something. I'ma do my dance, God up to something. Keep your head up, I got you, I promise. Joy it come in the morning. I'ma do my dance, God up to something. I'ma do my dance, God up to something. Keep your head up, I know the pressure's real. The devil at your mind, but Jesus stronger than him. I got a prayer for you, let me spit it on here. Father God, in the name of Jesus, let them see. Father God, in the name of Jesus, set them free. Let them feel your power and love in the streets. That faith, love, deceiving the kings and the queens. The kids need love from the daddies in the streets. Even when you feeling low, broken, defeated, God will step in, pick you up in a minute. None of us deserve it. His love is unconditional. Always playing chess, every move is intentional. Snatch out the mud and clean you up, try Jesus. Don't try me, I can be like Peter. We all fall short of the glory, even preachers. We all fall short of the glory, even preachers. Y'all, you know, I love my dance music. I love like something I can dance and praise God.
Right.
You know, that's really my lane.
Yeah.
You know, I do the little rap stuff, but you know, I'm a David. You know what I'm saying? In this generation, I'm a praise God. I'm a dance. I'm a get up out your seat. I ain't gonna make you get up out your seat.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If the music don't do it, it just ain't for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Listen, people watch the response of people and figure that it's not good enough. Sometimes you gotta know that song could be for one person.
Right.
If it can help lead one person to the Lord, or somebody that's in the Lord that's going through, help bring them out, it was worth it.
Man, listen.
It was worth it. You gotta think about the one. We trying to think of people want to think about the million.
Right.
We gotta think about the one. Jesus concerned about the one that walked away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then we gotta be humble enough to go out there and, hey, bro, you all right? Be humble enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people, we get upset and you're good. Yeah, don't come back. Why would you not want nobody to come back to the fold when we know what's on the other side?
Right. You know, that's crazy that you mentioned that too, man, just because I think that there's I don't know, just lately it seems like not necessarily, I'm not going to say that it's not happening, but it just seems like that humbling nature of those of us that are already in a heavy relationship, close relationship with Christ, versus the ones that are still you know, where they are on their walk might not be as consistent as yours.
Right.
Like I can see lately the amount of grace that is given for those people to drop the ball and make mistakes have been highlighted. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? One of the things I look at all the time, especially when it comes down to leaders and preachers and you know, these ones that are in front of, you know, thousands of people, I try to be able to grant them the same kind of grace I would want somebody to grant me, right?
Yeah.
We make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all fall short of the glory,
Yep.
So who am I to try to highlight
Right.
somebody's, wrongdoing.
Yeah.
When I have things with myself that I do that I have to repent for on a consistent basis.
Still need work.
Still need word,
Yep.
still need work. And even with some of these very, very important leaders in services and ministries, I watch these podcasts and I watch these YouTube videos, and these people are almost condemning some of these some of these pastors or some of these other ministers. And I think that I understand with how powerful it might be in the following they might have. But man, listen, if you were running a ministry,
Right.
and you said something you shouldn't have said, or you had a mishap,
Yeah.
you as my brother, I come to you and I say, man, what you did, well, that ain't right. That ain't the way.
For sure.
What you said, man, that ain't the way.
Yeah.
I understand what you might think, but that ain't the way.
Yeah, that ain't
right?
it.
But I say I love you, man, and I don't
Right.
degrade you.
Yeah.
You
Ain't gonna
gotta
kick
come
down.
back in. I ain't gonna kick you down. You gotta
Yeah.
come back and try to
Get
rectify
right.
and get
Yeah.
together. That's what it's about. But I'm learning that in some ministries it don't really work like that.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
It's
it don't really make
self-righteous.
that.
Some people self-righteous.
Yeah,
And those people won't see God if they're not careful.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That was the Pharisees and the scribes. That was their problems.
Mhm.
Like self-righteous.
Yeah.
Y'all listen, if it was all about clothes and how you look for your outer appearance for God to accept you in and you be straight, all of us would be that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But Jesus knew. Listen, it's gonna take more than that right there. You gotta have a real genuine relationship with God. Your heart gotta be right.
Right.
And people don't understand. Like, definitely, and I try to make sure I stay humble as I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's always somebody better than you. But
Yeah.
I am so thankful for the little that God has given me already, because I know he's bringing more, but I'm not even concerned about that. I'm just excited about what he's doing with the little.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh.
And some people, God gave them a little, and that little is a lot to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But guess what? If you're not careful, you get exalted. You exalt yourself.
Mhm.
So now when you hear somebody that's saying that can't quite sing like you talking about them out there while everybody praising God. You sending darts at people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Guess what? They might not sound good, but God is using them. The anointing has nothing to do with the sound. Where your heart at?
Where your heart at?
God will use, listen, I believe God can use a dog to come in here and bark and deliver to people if he had to.
Hey, I believe it.
God do what he want to do.
Amen.
God just needs someone that's available and genuine. I
And
say that,
willing.
and willing.
A willing vessel.
And I tell people, I say the Christian walk and loving God is all about being real with yourself. If you can be real with yourself, it's going to be easy for you to come out of certain things because you're going to acknowledge it. I got a problem.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most people that's not changing, they're not being real with themselves.
Right. Another thing is and me and my team was kind of speaking about this before, but many of our leaders and ones that we have and ones that we follow after in ministry, they don't really have an outlet, right? You go and you have your conversations about whatever it is that you're going through.
Right.
You go to them for counseling. Right. You go to them to be able to get some godly counsel about whatever it is that you got going on or whatever the situation is. But many a times, you take what you have to God and you go see them.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? But they go to God, and sometimes they don't have anywhere else to go to.
That's it.
Right. So, sometimes they're trying to pray their way through these situations, but they don't really have an outlet to speak to that they can, be in front of that won't judge them or look at them any kind of different way.
Right.
Because they came to confide in you. Right. So with that being said, I think that us as as the church, us as the church, we should have a little bit more grace when it comes down to some of these people in those kind of positions, man. Because I think that it's a tough thing to have to be able to lead amongst a good amount of people in the right direction, give them godly counsel, deliver my word from God at the same time. And when I'm here struggling at home with an issue, or I'm struggling in my safe space with an issue that I'm trying to be delivered from, that I'm going through, I don't want to come tell Pete about it, because Pete might end up looking at me differently. Right? Yep. I can't, after one conversation with Pete about something that I'm dealing with, Pete no longer looks at me and say, hey, I can't look at him as the same kind of man of God, because he told me about where he was lacking. Right. One thing I always used to hear from another man of God that used to say to me all the time, he said, man, I love you enough to tell you my failures. For sure. Right. You my brother. I love you enough to tell you my failures and not just celebrate my wins.
That's a real brother there, though.
Right. And with that being said, I respect him more because he told me how he was lacking.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because men don't really do that.
No.
He told me how he was fumbling the ball. Right. And I was able to watch him pick it up.
Right.
And I was able to watch him take off.
Right.
After he dropped it.
Yeah.
I had a different kind of respect for that man of God, because although he was a leader and is a leader, he shared with me, the enemy that he was fighting.
Right.
And he shared with me the strongholds that he was fighting.
Yeah.
And with him sharing that with me, I looked at myself and said, you know what?
I'm all right.
I'm okay. Because I know I have my own issues.
Yeah.
But what he just told me about, man, I don't know if I don't know how to get through that.
Yeah.
And then I watch him in front of everybody, without nobody knowing what he's dealing with, pick himself up, put his shoes back on, and get in front of this stage
like it wasn't
nothing going on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, man, I deliberately think we should have a little bit more grace and humbleness when it comes down to things like that, man.
Absolutely.
But back